Yo, what up, everybody? Y'all know what it is. We are back once again. This is the School of Results, and I'm Coach Lynch. As you can see, I got a new guest, y'all, and her name is Fran. Yo, what up, Kim? What's going on with you? How you?
I'm good, friend.
Yeah. So, listen, we only bring people on this show that get transformations and that truly change. So, one thing that I can say about you is that you've been through it these last 6 weeks,
Yes.
8 weeks now, right?
Yes.
And you've actually done some totally different things inside and outside of your life. Yo, I want to talk about and get into all of that today. You with me?
I'm with you.
All right, let's go. So one thing I try to do is figure out how people actually got to AWOL or found out about Coach Lynch or what we do. So one, I'll be trying to figure out where my marketing dollars are going, to figure out if I need to be spending money over there, if that works or if that's working or not working. So how did you find out about AWOL?
I knew about AWOL. I trained with AWOL during quarantine.
Okay.
Like I trained with Coach Jonathan online. I ended up meeting Olga, who's one of y'all's veterans.
Yeah, Olga,
we met
shout
through
out to
some mutual friends, and she and I got to talking, and she was saying, well, like, if you want to come in the gym, like, this is when I work out, come work out in the class that I work out in. So I started coming. It's been a little over a year ago now. Okay. So kept coming, saw some results, and then I saw you talking about the transformation, so I felt like, okay.
You saw me verbally talking about it or social media?
I saw it on social media first, and then I was in the gym leaving one of the classes, and somebody asked you about it. So I kind of lingered a little bit, asked a few questions, and you was like, come in and do a consultation.
Yeah. It's pretty dope. Because some people think they're going to get all the information in passing and they want to just talk. And what I got to do sometimes is separate, the real people from the talkers or,
Right.
Things like that. And, I just want to see if you're willing to take the next step. And, with coaching is you got to identify the people who are willing to actually do the work or you're about to waste a lot of energy, you know what I'm saying? And I don't really have that to be wasted, you know what I'm saying? So, I put it into people who are actually doing their thing. And you were one of the people who, just like locked in and dialed in from the very beginning. And I appreciate that. So, if I haven't told you that this whole time, I talk a lot of shit, holler at people, always cussing you out. I barely give you credit, but I'm just talking about in general, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And because it just takes a lot. So I appreciate all the work that you've been doing, everything that you've been doing to add accountability, to the group and things like that. Yo, y'all group is the shit, y'all. That group me is so super dope. I really like the fact that like as soon as I put that group me together, I think Jerome just started adding value from the rip.
Yes.
I think he's just kind of he's been doing like that type of stuff for so long, just like been in groups and masterminds and things like that. He just kind of knew how to keep it going if Coach Lynch wasn't
Right.
going in. But then after that, it was just like you, Will, and y'all just kind of rose up to the top and everything like that. So talk about how that Group B has added value to you and stuff like that, because you are. What are you down, about 25 pounds now?
Yes.
About 25 pounds.
25.
And was that 25 at the end of the 6 weeks, or was it?
25 at the end of the 7th.
Oh, the 7th week, and then the 7th week. So shout out to the 25 pounds.
Yes.
Yo, did you expect that shit?
No, I did not.
No?
No,
Oh.
I did not.
How do you feel about that shit?
I'm very excited. I'm excited to see how much more I can transform. Like when we did the consultation, I told you the body component, okay, well, I might lose some weight, but I'm more interested in like transforming the way I think some,
Yeah,
so
for sure.
my thought process definitely got a hit and was shifted. Now you said with Jerome and Will in our accountability group, like I think it's so dope that we actually talk to each other. Like I say all the time, Will is definitely the team captain.
Yeah.
And Jerome.
You gave him a name. What's his name?
Willpower.
I love it.
Willpower. Yeah, because I have never seen him, like, throughout all of this, have a bad day. And when somebody else is having a bad day, like, it's like he knows exactly what to say. He keeps our group really congealed. Jerome, you got to have your mind right for Jerome, because Jerome comes through with really thought-provoking stuff. Like, Will gonna push you to transform, like, on the physical level, like, your thought process about what you're doing physically. Jerome comes right behind him with just your thought process overall in life. Like, the transformation has been physical, but if you really have been paying attention and picking up like all the breadcrumbs that have been left, it's been just as good for you mentally too.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, the body ain't gonna go nowhere. The mind don't tell it to go.
Right.
So if we not transform it mentally, like, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by renewal of the mind, right? So if we didn't have this actual component as a part of the process, then you would only get something that would be short-lived anyway.
Right.
That means like you would get your weight loss and then you would go back. You know what I'm saying? So we got more shit to do because you're sending me pictures like, yo, this is my next fucking body goal. Like,
that's it.
I want this right here. And I'm like, all right, well, let's lock in. We're gonna do this, that, and the third. And if you don't do it, then you ain't gonna never get nowhere close to that. But you're just like, whatever happens. Like, I want you to talk a little bit about like having that kind of mindset. It's just like whatever, you know, needs to be done, I'm gonna do. Like, how do you do that when you come from you know, you came from just a regular boot camp class, and then, you know, you jump over here for the 6-week challenge? Because we did a consultation, and I told you in the consultation, I'm like, yo, I'm intense, and, you know, I'm different, and I coach different, and, you know, I don't know if you're going to be able to handle it. You're like, yo, whatever needs to be done, I'm going to do it, you know, whatever it takes. So talk a little bit about that mindset.
You got to be sick of you. Honestly, like, something got to die.
Something got to die.
And for me, like, the old Kim had to die. Like, I was not comfortable. I wasn't comfortable with the body that I had, but just being in the group has made me realize, like, yo, the body that I had was a result of, like, my mindset. Like, why was I eating?
Yes.
What was I trying to cope with? Like, and actually addressing the things that I was, like, eating to kind of pacify. So it's been an overall transformation. And like you say all the time, something has to die. And you got to be sick of you. Like,
Yes, you got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah.
You got to make a change, man. And that's what it's all about. We did that. That was pretty dope. I do want to ask you, though, you know, out of the, what is the biggest takeaway from, you know, this whole entire, you know, process? And I know that you said you changed your mind and stuff like that, but what's your biggest takeaway that if you had to tell somebody and talk to somebody about that, what would it be?
About the process overall?
Yeah, just anything.
Limitlessness. Like,
Ooh,
if that's
I
even
saw
a
you
word,
post that too.
limitlessness, like, that's been the resounding theme for me throughout this whole thing. Even when some of the new people started, I remember telling Tariq especially, like, yo, whatever you think you are capable of, as far as you think you are capable of going, put it out of your mind and push yourself to think so far beyond that. Yeah, because
above all things,
I'm doing things that I never would have thought I'd do. Like, with our group, we do cardio in the mornings, like early in the mornings. We meet 5:15, like, yo, I'm jogging through downtown, like miles, 2-3 miles.
Yes.
And when we get under 3 miles, it's like disappointment. Like, and I really have to, like, check myself sometimes, because I be like, yo, I'm really out here jogging.
And
like, I'm
now
really
you
doing
know
this.
You know what it actually takes to kind of make it move or to get a certain result. So being conscious of that makes you, you know, have to put in, you know, the work on a different level. So when you talk about expanded consciousness, you're talking about, like, literally becoming, you know, or being on another frequency, which is what life is all about. It's about self-transcendence at the end of the day. I see you know, are evolving, you know, personally, but how does that affect your world? Because, you know, in our world, you know, if you don't come from, so I'm fortunate enough that my wife actually works out and my daughter works out. Like, she was in a class this morning, right? And I'm fortunate enough to have, you know, people around me that actually do this all the time. But how does that translate or transfer for you?
Okay, so it's crazy that you just asked me that, like, because I'm single. But I met a dude recently, and, you know, we were talking or whatever, just kind of chopping it up, getting to know each other. And I was asking him, like, well, like, do you work out? And he was like, nah. And I was like, I continued that conversation with him. But when I got home and my sister was asking me, so what you think? I was like, nah,
it don't work out.
Nah, because she was like, but he's not fat. He's not out of shape. It's not a physical thing at this point. Like, it's a mental thing, because the drive that it takes for me to get up,
absolutely,
and the determination that it takes, like, for me when I don't feel like doing it, to do it, like, I'm noticing that carries over into other areas of my life now. So I feel like you're not dedicated. I can't trust you to be dedicated to a situation with me and you, because you're not even dedicated to you. That's how I feel. Right. Now maybe I'm becoming a gym snob kind of, but
I think that's well, let me tell you something. Here's how you figure all this stuff out. At the end of the day, you got you wake up in the morning,
right?
And there's what they call a spirit man, and then there's a carnal man, right? Or the flesh. You got the spirit and the flesh. We're not always going to wake up in the spirit, and when we do wake up, sometimes we feel aches and pains. We feel tired. We feel sluggish. We hit the snooze button. We do all of that. When you do those things, you actually enter into the flesh. That literally is the flesh winning, right? But the word says the flesh has to die daily. When we go work out daily, we're killing the flesh that wants to take over, that wants to be lethargic, that wants to be lazy, that wants to eat whatever he wants, like that take over our mind, right? We literally fight against that by coming and working out early in the morning. We literally fight against that when we wake up and we pray. We literally fight against that when we get up and do the thing that we don't want to do, even when we know we need to do it. Right. That's called discipline. If you can spot someone who is not disciplined in the flesh, pay attention, because you said you were single. So if you can spot someone who's not disciplined in the flesh, from the rip, run.
Right.
Got it? Because once you get serious and you already saw that they were not disciplined in the flesh, don't say you didn't have a sign.
Right. You're right.
Got it? Now that your consciousness has expanded and you're aware of it, your friend or your cousin, whoever you're talking to, they don't get this.
Nope.
They don't understand. For them, it's not a red flag. They got to get to some other shit before they get the red flag. By then, it's too fucking late. Right? So this shit right here is serious, and you've cultivated a routine that's opened up your mind. You feed you first. You feed the thing that feeds your spirit, that feeds your mind, that feeds your emotions, and that feeds your body. All of that is... That's the temple, that's the Trinity, it's the holy thing, it's the mind, the body, and the spirit. If you don't wake up and fill those cups up right there first, then I don't want you either. You understand what I'm saying?
You're right.
So
you are exactly right.
For making that decision right there. And I'm sorry for rambling that long on that specific thing, but I believe that is something that you've changed already in your life, and you notice that about yourself. Give me one more thing that has changed during this time that you kind of stopped and put down and picked up something new. Give me something.
I noticed that I'm a little more receptive to constructive criticisms. Because I am strong and I have a strong personality, and where that can be my gift and my curse, at times I can be like, I don't listen to nobody, I don't really let people tell me anything. But being in this setting has like put me in position where I have to run the play the way you give it.
I don't go for that shit.
Right. I have to run the play.
I appreciate you running, because I know when somebody has a strong personality.
Right.
I know but I also know when you are humbling yourself or being submissive and things like that. And that right there allows me to pour more. You know what I'm saying? Because soon as you know more than me and some shit that I know that I'm the motherfucking expert at, that I know that this is my shit, I know what's going on, like that's when I'd be like, okay, you got it. You know what I'm saying?
And it's taught me that like humility is not weakness.
Right.
And that's how I had been feeling, like humility. And that's error. That was an error in my thinking, like feeling like humility in some regards or submissiveness is weakness, and it's not. Like that's becoming one of my greater strengths.
I love it. I love the fact that God places you around people that you need to actually help you become a better person or become somebody totally different. And sometimes you need somebody that's actually going to bark or actually going to be like, no, this how it's done. Like, get it like. So you ever see how if one of them get out of line, I ain't gonna say no names or something like that, right? Then I'm like, oh, you ain't know what was about to happen, and then I literally punish a motherfucker on a whole nother. You know what I'm saying? I literally punish him because you moved too early. I'm trying to teach you how to follow whatever the lead is.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And when you jump out there, it's going to be a consequence because now you don't have the protection of the leadership. You understand what I'm saying? And when I'm teaching stuff, like I'm teaching life principles through, workouts and shit like that because that's how I learned in sports and shit like that. You play sports too, right? You used to play sports, right? Would you play basketball?
Basketball,
yeah. So talk about how, like, that is how sports are a microcosm of life. But talk about how this kind of snaps you back into that mind frame you had when you used to kill shit playing basketball.
Because team sports, kids who are not coachable are not productive adults. I don't think they are because they don't take direction well. Or correction. That's right. In this setting, with our group especially, ain't no one man bigger than the team. Like, that's how we move. We recognize, and we have kind of collectively appointed like willpower as we acknowledge Will as the team captain because that's just naturally who he is.
That's dope. He's a coach too.
I know that's what I know. Being put back in a setting where, like, I know that I'm a part of a team. I know that my teammates are counting on me. I know that I count on them as well. Like, we support each other's strengths just as greatly as we support each other's weaknesses. Like, makes you trainable. It's making me trainable on a whole nother level, and it's redirecting, like, my trajectory. Like, I'm thinking about life principles differently, just based off of, like, being in a team environment.
Yeah. So once I kind of identify like some of people's backgrounds and where they come from, I really communicate with them like from that plane, and that allows us to actually connect more and stuff like that. So once I identified, so I've noticed the role that you actually play in the group. You know what I mean? Like, but I love it because that's so, it don't always have to come from me. You know what I'm saying? Will, I noticed that what he does in the group. I noticed what you do in the group. I noticed this stuff and what Jerome does in the group, and I really love it so much because now you get it from different angles. You get it with a little love. You get it with a little, you know what I mean? You get the hard, you get the smooth, you get the rough, you get all that, all those different ways, and it's dope. And it helps people out, like Leon, you know what I mean? It helps people out. Like, you don't have to call out no names, but we, like, we are getting on people and not making them feel bad in the process. Like, you know what I mean? And I credit your personality to that. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, they call you a bully. They call you a bully, but I just think you got a touch with it where
somebody got to get the rebound, coach. Like, somebody got to get the rebound. Yeah.
No, it's dope. It's dope stuff, man. I appreciate the role that you're playing, and I appreciate the fact that you know everybody plays a role and everybody is actually important. And when you see that this role is not being played, I appreciate you diving on the floor for the ball. You know what I'm saying? You know, in that aspect. Real quick, I know that you never had a transformation before at AWOL, and is this your first like transformation? Like
no.
No? Okay.
No, I went through a horrible divorce, and I got up to about 225.
Oh man.
Yes, that was a big girl. So I got up to about 225, and the advice, like on the road to recovery from the divorce, the advice that I was getting was like, you need to just get your body together, focus on your body, and that's what I did. Like, I honed in, focused on my body, but there wasn't anybody like really able to pour into me in a way that I was receptive to, like telling me transform your mind too. And it just wasn't sustainable because my body was together, but my mind was somewhere else. And I'm one of those people, for the most part, when I'm stressed out, I think everything good to me. Everything.
So one of the reasons why I actually I wake up in the morning, I get up super early. Like when y'all getting up, y'all see I'm done the cardio and all that stuff. But one of the reasons why I get up and I beat all of y'all up is so that I drop that word in the chat as one of the first things that you see when you wake up. And that is the thing that you need to kind of pour into your subconscious mind or lock your subconscious mind on, in that opportune time. I don't know if people know out there, but, the fastest way to deprogram and reprogram is to, reprogram your subconscious mind.
Right.
So with that being said, you gotta hit that early in the morning, and that's one of the aspects of our group where I put that on there, early in the morning, so that you can lock in on that. And I want you to be, concentrate on it. I want you to be devotional and intentional about that word throughout the day. So that's another thing that I do appreciate, that you actually take the time to look at that stuff, and if there's some practical application that has to be done, with the word, that you actually do that and submit that, and you text me on the side and say, hey, Coach L, here's my my won't list. We had that won't power or willpower list, and you did that. So I appreciate you doing the work, and I always say it works if you work it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's working for you.
It is.
You can see you're in different spirits, you're in a different vibe, you got different energy. And that's how I know it working, is because the spirit, the energy, and the vibes never lie. So, I say keep doing what you're doing, because, you're a change agent, and the world needs more change agents. If there was one thing that you had to leave the people with, like one piece of advice or a lesson, or, just something that you wanted to give them, what would it be?
I would say from our first week, I will never forget, it was a leg day, and we were doing those walking lunges with the weights. And in that first week, when I tell you, I considered just letting you keep that money and going back to the regular class, because it was overwhelmingly challenging. And I remember getting about halfway and dropping the weights, and you looked at me and said, pick that shit up. We got other stuff to do. And the thing I love about the divine moments in this, because I tell you all the time, I feel like it's so divine. You tell me things that align most of the time with whatever I am studying biblically.
Absolutely.
And I held on to that because there's a story in the Bible where there was a man who had been an invalid for like 38, 39 years.
Yes.
And he has so many excuses for why he could not get into that pool of water. And Jesus told him, like, do you want to be healed? Yeah. And he was like, yeah. He told him, like, pick up your mat and walk.
Yeah.
And I held on to that, and I tell myself that, like, I had a moment on the jog the other morning, and I was literally jogging, having to tell myself, like, pick that shit up.
Yeah.
Pick that shit up. Like, it does work if you work it, but you have to genuinely want it.
Yeah, you gotta want it. You gotta put in the work. You said something in the consultation though. You said this is the year 40. And my transformation is like, I need that. This is what's going down. You was like, I'm doing it. This is 40.
It can't be the same.
Yeah, it can't be the same. And man, we blazed into it, because you had a conversation on your birthday, wasn't it? It was on your birthday.
On my 40th birthday.
And then 6 weeks later, you was 25 pounds different.
Yep.
Like, man, tell me we don't be working. Right?
We do.
We say a word, we do a word, man. That's what it's all about. It's about doing the word. When you're a disciple of the word, you actually do the word, y'all.
That's it.
So, at the end of the day, you want to leave them with anything else? You can.
It works if you work it. Something gotta die. Something has to die.
Yo, look, my affirmations and mantras is all around this joint. Something gotta die for something to live. I want you to kill that limiting belief that you have in you that's saying that you can't do it, because something gotta die for something to live, y'all. Yo, do me a favor. If you like this, if you love this, if you want more of this, do me a favor. I want you to like, subscribe, and share. But most importantly, yo, you got to book your consultation, because we are on the way to changing whoever wants to be changed, y'all. All you got to do is show up, work hard, and listen, y'all. I'm Coach Lynch, and today I'm here with Kim. And look, Kim, we're going to send them on their way. Peace, y'all.
Peace.